Toyota's CEO has just revealed that Toyota is going to bypass all dealerships and intermediaries and sell directly to the consumers. Anyone who has recently attempted to purchase a vehicle knows that doing so is not a simple process. A visit to the dealership can become rather stressful owing to the low inventory that is caused by the shortage of parts and the hefty markups that the dealer charges. This is why Toyota is trying to make it possible to buy your next vehicle straight from the manufacturer to avoid paying a markup and save yourself the hassle of arguing with the sales managers. Is this sales model going to work for Toyota, and how will this affect future deliveries? The world has witnessed from Tesla that purchasing a car can be as easy as ordering a package online and having Amazon deliver it to your front door. Tesla was the first company to demonstrate this seemingly impossible concept. In contrast to other automobile manufacturers, Tesla does not rely on middlemen. Instead, they sell their vehicles directly to the client. As a result, customers benefit from consistent pricing that does not include markups, no delays, and a more positive overall experience. Now, Toyota wants to bring that experience to a Toyota store near you so they can share it with you. Today, you can buy directly from automakers like Tesla, Rivian, and Lucid. These automobile manufacturers, for the most part, do not mark up anything. You make your purchase on their website, and once it's prepared, they send the automobile to your home. The new businesses usually need to establish franchises or dealerships. Most have spaces or galleries, and there is a rationale behind why these businesses do not use the term dealership. Because franchise laws exist in most states, automobile manufacturers are prohibited from conducting business directly with end users. These laws, which date back several decades, were established to shield independent dealerships from potential threats posed by manufacturers who established their showrooms and became direct competitors. So, in 2019, Toyota first introduced the SmartPath retail experience, providing customers with more options for purchasing their next Toyota vehicle. This program allowed customers to lease, finance, or purchase their new vehicle without having to visit the dealership physically. However, this was accomplished by working hand in hand with dealerships located throughout the United States to integrate online and in-store retail. Toyota began piloting SmartPath to expand its retail footprint. SmartPath was developed in partnership with Toyota Financial Services, TFS, and offered a flexible shopping experience that was convenient, interactive, connected, transparent, and customized. The COVID-19 pandemic drove customers' demand for digital transactions, and a recent poll of digital purchasing revealed that 2 out of every 3 shoppers are more inclined to acquire a vehicle completely online. Customers were given more control over purchasing a vehicle using Toyota's SmartPath technology, which also offered a unified user experience across Toyota.com, buyatoyota.com, the dealership website, and the real dealership store. Customers could begin their journey online, preserving their progress in a digital garage, continuing where they left off at the dealer, or finishing their purchase with their SmartPath dealer totally online. For Toyota dealerships, the new technology integrated with current inventory, the Customer Relationship Management System (CRM), and directly with financing through TFS. This allowed sales associates to better understand customers' wants and needs, while also providing access to time-saving tools, enhanced analytics, and advanced lead handling that enables the dealer to pick up right where the customer left off online. However, people did not adopt this model well, and it slowly faded away. Also, it did not help Toyota in dealing with dealership markups. However, Toyota recently pulled out a new weapon from its arsenal that may completely wipe out dealerships and intermediaries: the agency model. The agency model is a direct sales technique that entails automobile manufacturers selling their automobiles to end users directly through the retail outlets that the automobile manufacturers themselves own. Because of this strategy, there will be no need for intermediaries or dealerships. Additionally, this strategy can reduce costs and increase profits for the producers. Direct sales to end users are becoming more common in businesses generally, including the automobile sector, and many automakers are already engaging in this practice. Rather than dealers purchasing vehicles at wholesale costs and then reselling them at higher prices, these agents work for Toyota and receive commissions on each sale. According to Matt Harrison, who is in charge of Toyota's operations in Europe, the company is getting ready to completely revamp its business model because the current distribution margins and models can no longer be maintained. Harrison believes that businesses' 20 to 25% traditional profit margins are no longer required. If Toyota adopted the agency model, it might increase the amount of money it makes. This is a risky move for Toyota, but it can potentially pay off in a major way. The reason for the adjustment is to ensure that they live up to customers' expectations. Over 80% of customers in today's market would rather deal with direct pricing and an easy purchasing experience, such as that offered by online retailers. Nowadays, people seek the convenience of online shopping when it comes to purchasing automobiles. The clear advantage that direct sales bring to vehicle manufacturers is great. Direct sales establish a direct relationship with the end customers, providing them with invaluable information regarding the client's preferences. This direct connection is something that manufacturers have never had before, and it is highly significant as the growth of data-driven sales is expected to be large by the year 2025. When you go to a dealership, the only requirement a dealer has is to sell the cars. However, if selling you a Ford model will bring in more profit than selling you a Toyota, what do you think a dealer will do? Of course, he will do his best to convince you to buy a Ford, which is bad for Toyota. But when it comes to direct sales, agencies offer manufacturers the opportunity to tap into vital customer data that they currently have limited access to. In other words, direct sales offer manufacturers a chance to increase their client base by a factor of 3. Also, selling automobiles to end users one-to-one can enhance a manufacturer's profit margin by up to 5%. This improvement in profitability has the potential to result in additional revenue for manufacturers that can run up to billions of dollars. They can negotiate conditions for a better position and build competitive offerings since they sell their products straight to customers. In this rapidly shifting environment, it's possible that a solution that involves adopting a different kind of sales model will prove to be both enticing and effective. However, the shift to an agency model has been met with significant resistance, particularly on the part of dealerships and national sales companies concerned about the agency model's possible effects on the profitability of their businesses. Car dealerships have always depended upon selling vehicles at significant markups. They are now concerned that the agency model might have a big impact on the earnings they make. In the new business model, dealers would take on the role of sales representatives for the manufacturer and be eligible to earn commissions on each transaction. The reality is, however, that while this would cut their revenues, it might also free them from the strain of keeping an enormous inventory, which can be rather expensive. Also, under the agency model, car dealerships would no longer be responsible for marketing and advertising vehicles. The manufacturer would be solely responsible for these duties. This change may result in lower marketing expenditures for dealerships, freeing up resources that the dealerships may use to concentrate on other elements of their business, such as offering excellent service and repair. For quite some time, automobile dealerships have been facing increasing pressure to shrinking profit margins on sales of new vehicles. According to the findings of an investigation conducted by Accenture, it is anticipated that price cuts will rise by up to 30% by the year 2025. This might result in a loss of revenue of $600,000 or more annually for each individual dealer. However, by switching to a system based on commission, dealers have the chance to protect their profit margins. Under the agency model, dealers would continue to invest in traditional retail locations and provide customers with meaningful interaction with the brand they are interested in. The new retail model intends to place a higher emphasis on convenience, versatility, connected technologies, and a purchasing experience that is consistent across all channels. Therefore, Toyota will need to handle the logistical problems that come along with them while also working to minimize the disruptions their customers experience. On the other hand, the new retail model that Toyota wants to implement will usher in a substantial rise in the number of contacts between customers and the organization. At the moment, only a few manufacturers possess the appropriate infrastructure to do this. However, Toyota has been a tough competitor and is known for its ingenious tactics. So it will be interesting to see how Toyota goes about this. That's all from this video. What do you think about Toyota's new sales model? See you at the next one.